Okay, like, how's it going, eh? Welcome to like the live stream.
How's it going, eh?
Oh, it's going okay, Hoser.
I'm Bob, and this is my brother Doug.
My name's not Doug, eh? My name is Brad. So
Well, they know that, eh? But we're
like get
putting
it
on the
right, eh?
show, eh?
So get it right, eh? You're such a hose head. I can't believe it. He's my brother and he doesn't even know like even my name, eh?
Okay, my name is Bob, eh? And this is my brother Brad, eh?
Okay, eh? So
So
you
what's the topic today?
well, the topic today is wood shop. So
Well,
like
they can see that, eh? We're standing in a wood shop.
well, we're in the wood shop, like, but you don't always have to, like when you're in the wood shop and the topic is maybe the topic isn't wood shop, but like you're in the wood shop. But today, like we're in the wood shop and that's also like the topic is the
Don't
wood
don't
shop,
be a
eh?
hoser, eh? Let's get to the point.
Not a hoser.
They can see that, eh?
You're the hoser. So so today's topic is wood shop, and you might notice that like my brother's talks a little differently, right? So like he's in
Well, I'm from southern Manitoba, eh?
you're from South Canada, and some people call South Canada America, right? So you know that's just kind of where he's from. So he talks a little funny,
But I'm from way South Canada, eh?
way South Canada. So, so the topic is going to change today from wood shop. We're going to change the topic, to to beverages in the wood shop. That's what we're having here today. And I'm drinking. What is this? Maybe I've had too many now. It's Pepsi Zero,
I'm drinking the old bubbly, eh?
and Hoser here is drinking bubbly. So we're going to have another topic change.
Oh, you
And
know what I found out,
what
eh?
did you find out?
That there's no Canadian bacon. It's not a thing, eh?
There's no Canadian bacon in Canada, eh? That's only in America. So
They, they,
Canadians don't have Canadian bacon.
they programmed those Americans, eh?
It's a big joke on America. That's what we kind of every time we hear them say Canadian bacon because it's not a thing. The only time Canadians eat Canadian bacon is in an Egg McMuffin, and that's a U.S. franchise. So it's not a Canadian thing, eh?
You know what else, eh? They don't have restrooms in
They
Canada, eh?
don't have restrooms because you're not supposed to rest. Eh? You go in the bathroom. You're supposed to get your work done and get out because somebody else is waiting. Eh?
So they're called washrooms.
So it's not for resting. You just go in and it's all business in there.
You go to the washroom, eh, in Canada.
That's right. That's right. I don't know how long I keep this.
Another interesting fact I found out in northern Canada, eh, was that there are no Canadian geese, eh?
There's no Canadian geese. There's Canada geese, but there's no Canadian geese, eh? So stop calling it Hosehead.
They
It's
don't
not
want
a
the blame. We don't
Canada
want the blame,
Canadian
eh,
geese.
for your geese.
That's right.
So anyway, the real topic of the day
Is the fact that I forgot to plug in the microphone.
well, I have one right here on me, so hopefully it worked.
I don't know if
Chris, but you just keep talking.
But anyway,
I'll try
eh,
this
what we
out.
really want to talk about is the Manitoba Beekeeper Association convention, eh? Because it was top notch. And we're gonna
don't get close, eh? They can hear you from back here, eh?
so we're gonna be breaking character, eh, in a minute, and talking about the Manitoba Beekeepers Association convention, eh? And I'm gonna say how wonderful it was.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And we're gonna talk about it in Bobinese. You know how you guys all understand. And honestly, guys, it's not that cold in this building to be
No.
wearing this hat.
No, it's pretty warm. I'm getting kind of warm.
But we thought we'd have a little bit of fun. And I'm gonna grab now that I have buffalo hat hair or lack of buffalo hair, and put on the bee-made hat. And so yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was a little concerned. See, I got wood chop dust all over me. I was a little concerned. You come in after a show like Nobby, and even Hive Life and all the Southern conventions that have been going on lately, and you think, yeah, how's this going to measure up? Is the guy from somewhere else kind of going to get disappointed? Because honestly, there's only a couple hundred people that attended that convention, but
And but to me, that was one of the diamonds in the rough about the show. And for me, I can't go to a bigger conference and have a 30-minute conversation with some doctors and scientists. They
yeah,
they were available everywhere, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that was to me, to be able to have a conversation with Dr. Robin Underwood and Corey Stevens at the same
at the
time,
same time, yeah,
and really bring up some concerns and issues that I have. Not so much about uh, what's being done, but more of how it's being done. Does that make sense?
yeah,
It's not being overly critical, but just identifying that there's a problem, and then getting some validation, right? So it's one of those things that you don't always have to agree on a certain topic or something, but the conversation will allow you to you know at least come to some agreements. What's that?
well, yeah, I shouldn't even turn. We'll look at all the comments here in a bit. I'm flying without a net. I've never really done it with a smartphone. StreamYard, that is. So, that's an interesting comment. I appreciate that, and I think that's probably one of the greatest strengths of that convention,
Right.
because I've been going to that convention, well, what is it, 8 years now, and yeah, quality is
Yeah.
pretty high there, and accessibility, like you say, accessibility to these people.
Well, and what I found so exciting to me about Canadian speakers, right, is that first and foremost, I can tell by the people that they had speaking that the Canadian government is actively involved
Yeah,
in solving issues in beekeeping.
yes,
And then to go on with that would be that all of the beekeepers at the conference seem to be very much in the know about what's going on in the government with
yeah.
the beekeeping.
Yeah, then there's a reason for that. I'll back up to the description of the convention overall. This was put on the 118th annual convention for the Manitoba Beekeepers Association. Manitoba Beekeepers Association is a producer association. It's a producer board, meaning that it's an industry association. It's not. Was not a convention, even though the general public is more than welcome to come and enjoy the convention as well, and trade show. It was actually a really good trade show this year, wasn't it?
Yes.
But it's put on by the association for the association members and industry as a whole. So it wasn't primarily, uh, there aren't any workshops on how to do a split, right?
Right.
And I'm not meaning condescending to anybody. This is just a context show, because it's a producer association. The convention speaks to primarily sideline and commercial beekeepers. This association represents over 100,000 colonies in the province. And so that's kind of just context on what's going on. So, so these beekeepers are, most of them at least, members of this association. And so they are kept apprised by various methods, and one of them being newsletter, website, and other communication, as to what the association is doing on their behalf, particularly where the government is concerned, because government regulation impacts us all, and it impacts our industry certainly. So that's the context there, and so that kind of really affects then the type of speakers that you're going to see, the type of vendors you're going to see at the trade show, and the type of speakers you're going to see in here at the convention itself. Um, a lot of academia. This year, we actually probably were a little heavier on academia than were on applied.
And that was right in my zone. That's my
Yeah.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, and I tend to enjoy that too, but I sometimes struggle to kind of really focus and keep up on it, but I do enjoy it. But I do enjoy the applied as well. We've had Randy Oliver a few years ago. We've had Ray Oliveras. Actually, I think that was the same year. Here with us. Word is we're having Bob Indian next year, but don't hold me to that because things change over here. But a lot of the speakers are from universities and labs. They're the science people. They're talking to us about the studies that we can use in our bee yards and the studies that they've looked at different products and different treatments and different things that might be coming down the pipe that we don't have access to yet, but we may have access in the near future. And I'll tell you, this is an exciting time. There are things coming along, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Varroa control is number one. However, we did have a talk about the commonly known as the queen vaccine, queen FB vaccine. So there was some very good information come by with that, and all kinds of things. It's
really Corey and queen mating, and
Corey Stevens spoke to us a couple times. Really interesting talk on how he handles virgin queens, shipping, and why he does that, advantages, and all that. So,
you know what follows me everywhere? You know what follows me no matter where I'm at?
But
we'll be sitting at dinner and there's a conversation going on. They'll say, Bob said this, and then they'll look over at me, Bob Benny. I'm like,
Bob Benny.
I'm aware. I'm aware. I'm aware you're not speaking about me. It's funny to me now, right? It's
That's
like
funny.
I just get it, right?
That's funny.
I know which Bob you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure if I said something, I would remember for the most part. But it's just that being around people that they're so involved, right? And I've seen people here that had 40 colonies, and I've seen people that had 9,000 colonies.
Yeah.
And they're all there. They all have questions. They all I spent most of my time at the dancing bee table, right? Helping Mike there and showing some products, talking about my swarm lure and everything else. So, but even if it wasn't about a product, just standing there, you would start talking about swarm lure. Well, could you use it for this? Well, I don't see why not, or you go off and you start talking about mite checks and different things. It wasn't always just about the product.
Yeah.
And I found it very stimulating because to me it was a lot like our live stream, right? We just come on and we start talking something about bees.
Yeah.
And it was 48 hours of continuous, in between 4-hour sleep sessions. Bees, right? So
and to clarify my connection here, I am on the board of directors of the Manitoba Beekeepers Association. So I was helping to just help the show happen, help the convention happen. And it was Friday, the first half of Friday, I hosted the session, so I introduced the speakers and did all that kind of stuff. But I ran the recording equipment to make sure the speakers' presentations were recorded. So and you're going to ask me, well, where can I see it? I don't know, but
somewhere it'll be somewhere,
because there's a lot of editing to happen, and that doesn't happen anytime soon. You can watch the Manitoba Beekeepers Association YouTube channel, and if it's made available, it'll be there. That's all I can say. There are a number of videos there already from past conventions, so check it out if you want. And then Bob came up for the trade show, and of course primarily to hang out with me, right? And I'm glad he did. We had a lot of fun, as you can tell.
We're still having fun.
We've had a lot of fun. We're still having fun.
Brad had me pissing myself today when he shocked himself at the hotel. All I thought about was the bear fence and pissing on the bear fence, and he goes up to hit the button, and I'm outside in the cold just laughing.
Don't tell anybody, but I think I might have leaked myself a little bit right there, right?
I think I had ice cubes coming down my pant legs.
Yeah, I jumped. I drew an arc that was probably 1.5 inches. Wow, that was a snap.
So we're just cutting up and having a good time. and showed me around his place here. Very, very nice. Matter of fact, I said, "Hey, I might become your neighbor." He says, "Well, I don't want any neighbors, but if you moved close by, it would probably be okay."
I could have him for neighbor. He come and build frame for me.
So yeah, I mean, it's just everything. And I can say this because I'm an outsider looking in, right?
Yeah.
Everything was top notch. I mean,
Thanks.
food,
Yeah.
the
food.
establishment, the people.
Yeah.
Nobody said anything out of the way. They liked my accent. You're not from around here, are you, boy?
Where are you from, boy?
I had one older gentleman. He said, "Oh, where are you from?" I said, "South Carolina." He said, "Oh, I went down there back in the '70s." And what did he say? He said, "And the waitresses were so nice. They all said, 'Y'all come back now.'" So
Canadians love that.
So it's been quite a experience, and everybody was just top notch. I mean, everything, even from I flew Canadian Air, right?
Air Canada.
See,
it's always
that one.
East Canadian Air.
It's all
Canadian
it's his
bacon.
fault. So Air Canada, and it was top notch, except for my one incident.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. So luckily the air mounties didn't get me.
There was an economy flight attendant that strayed into first class and was kind of uncomfortable in those surroundings. So we'll just leave it at that, and we will leave it at that.
But yeah, I mean, everything from the flight, bread was right there when I landed.
Yep.
Picked me up, no waiting.
And it was warm weather too. So
well, I brought that with me.
Well, you did bring it, and so I was dressed appropriately, right?
In shorts.
When I picked him up, shorts and a t-shirt, as would be the case. It was still below freezing though.
It was
a little cool, but
And let me see. So the hotel, I got a free upgrade for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. You can give me a free upgrade.
I'll let you explain what that was.
I remember why you got a free upgrade. How did you get a free upgrade?
I don't know.
I think I had a different person than this guy I had at the desk. I don't think he liked me for some reason. He had a nice young lady at the desk, and he's a real ladies man, so you got the upgrade. Oh well.
So ended up in an executive suite.
Yeah.
Which part of that executive suite was an executive lounge, where they do have breakfast down in the lobby for underlings.
For us commoners. Yeah. For the commoners. Yeah.
But we had our own special little buffet.
Yeah.
So
that was a good breakfast I had in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is basically the same as down below, but I wouldn't know that exactly because I don't intermingle very well. But we had so I flew all the way up there first night, right? And I find myself standing in a KFC.
and go to Winnipeg from South Carolina to eat Kentucky fried chicken.
I'm standing next to Brad, and I said, "You know how ironic this is, right?" But here's the thing. This is something I found out here. KFC, there is no mashed potatoes and gravy.
No mashed potatoes. It's French fries and gravy. So that's something that's not so much down south.
So it was a Canadian experience.
It was a Canadian.
Or is that a Canada experience?
Well,
or is that an experience Canada?
It's a
You set me straight, because every time I say something, I got it in the wrong order. So as you can see, we've had a great time.
Yeah.
And I knew you guys. I know you're all shaking in the corner because you haven't had a chance to see a live stream since a few days.
Where's the live stream, man? I
gotta have my live stream.
Yeah.
So
you keep them busy. I'm gonna go over here and look at some of the comments.
All right. Or you know what? We can just move the tripod
I'll
down.
bring them up on there.
Okay. He's gonna bring them up on there. So
because I can.
He's got the technology, and he's showing me how to use a tripod right now. He showed me a smoker, so I know what one of those look like now. I'll make sure I pick one of those up on the next next trip to the store. But how many people we got watching right now?
29.
29. You guys didn't share it out. But
I'll come up with something here. Second.
But we've
Hey, Popcorn Charlie's on.
hey Charlie. I can't see on the phone who all's on. I think I saw Phil from back here and Mike Chingway. All the no lifers are on here.
DC.
On 58.
Brian, Brian.
So yeah, there's plenty of stuff coming. I've got some cards of people that said they would be interested in coming on the live stream and sharing some of their studies with you guys. So if it works out, I should have Dr. Robin Underwood coming, and I can't always remember Amy's last name. Let me see. I got her card here. Corey said he would like to join us. So Corey Stevens will probably be coming. Amy's last name is Floyd.
Yeah.
From Delon Animal Health. They're the ones with the Queen vaccine. And so, you know, the good thing is she can share her screen and could actually give her presentation if you would like to. So you guys are just talking amongst yourself, no questions.
Yeah.
So
they're not even watching.
They're not even watching us. We're just here to facilitate side chat.
That's great. We'll just leave it running and go about our business so you can talk to each other.
Run the tables off. But yeah, I mean, so it was a great show, man. I had a great time.
I'm glad you did. I was a little concerned because, like I say, a lot of the big shows and everything, and you know, what was there?
These are my people.
Couple dozen trade show tables, but some good stuff. You know, some really interesting.
But you know what? Stuff. What I really found out, and I don't know if it's just a Canada / Canadian / however you want to put them in order thing, but I never felt like anybody in there, if they said, well, how many colonies you running? I said, you know, in the season, like 75, right? Nobody was like, you know, I run 1,700 hives or none of that.
Yeah. We had one guy, like our largest producer here in the province was there, and, you know, introduced Bob, and he's running 14,000 colonies. But you know, the definition in Canada, in Manitoba, and this doesn't say anything, but the definition in Manitoba is commercial is 50 and up, and that's really a legislative number, so they can actually get money out of you, pay into the association if you have more than that many colonies. So as you can imagine, there's some
diversity,
you know, diversity, and maybe some people wanting different things than others, but you know, diversity is really what keeps us alive. So I had healthy conversation and good healthy debate.
But even with that, I mean, everybody would just they're my when I say they're my people, I mean very easygoing, non-judgmental. You are what you present, right? And that's it. So, you know, when it was time to be professional, be professional. And when it's time to drink a beer and cut up, well, we did that too.
And there was time for that.
Yeah, we had time for that. So you know, it's just one of those things that some conferences, I'm not judging, but like Nabi or Hive Life or whatever, these bigger conferences, they're great. I mean, they're great big trade shows and lots of people, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
However, I wouldn't have been able to go up and say,
it's 4 p.m.
You wouldn't be able to say
it's 4 p.m. at all.
Because usually it's not 4 p.m.
I wouldn't be able to go up and say, hey, Corey, how's it going?
Yeah.
You know, maybe Corey, but like Dr. Underwood.
Yeah, Corey definitely. Corey said, boy, I visited Corey quite a bit. And I didn't get to for the whole time. And then after it was over, I got to spend some time with Corey. You know, that guy is so genuine.
Yep.
He's a real guy. And I think that guy, in my short time of talking to him, and my opinion and my impression of him, this guy is as honest as the day is long. He has high integrity. He's a good person. He will treat people well. He's obviously highly intelligent.
And I got notoriety from him.
And you got notoriety.
Right off of the jump. He's like, I know who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
we've never met
he's
before.
running across the room to see Bob. Hey, Bob.
So it was yeah, I mean, and that was across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, it
yeah.
wasn't. Now, obviously, I didn't get to talk to everyone because of what I was doing, but I talked to more than I realized because they were coming by the trade tables, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you wouldn't necessarily know the credentials of any.
right.
Like, Dr. Steve Purnell walks up to your table. You don't necessarily know him to see him. You read his work all the time, but I'm him, for example. I just thought of him because I found myself sitting in the conference room having lunch with Dr. Steve Purnell, and what a treat, because in that context, you listen to the presentation, you read their work, read the papers they published and everything. To sit down and have lunch with the guy, you just really connect with the person, and that's the part I love about this convention is it's connecting with the people behind the PhD,
Right.
because these people are real people.
Well, and sometimes during their presentations, they're putting a bunch of stats and numbers on the board. And one thing that I've liked is that the little mic person with the mic, Laura, afterwards, she would come around if somebody raised their hand, like Dr. Phil show, right?
Yeah.
Or Oprah.
Yeah.
Put the mic in front of them and say, hey,
Yeah.
what's your question?
We started doing that. Laura is a member of our regional association, our Red River Acres Association, and she often takes out an associate membership in the MPA because she believes in the purpose that she wants to contribute. But one way she contributes for a number of years now is she'll run the mic. Like, we give her a cordless and she darts across that room. It's a crowded conference room, because it's a round table set up. And she makes her way to a speaker right away when there's a question. Everybody can hear it.
Well, sometimes, I mean, the job's got to be done, right? I mean, so it's like,
yeah.
And that's what I found. I mean, it didn't matter. Hey, you need help with those bags?
Yep.
Something like that. It doesn't matter. They're gonna. It's just overwhelming. And I've got to say this is on Brad's channel. Brad has been an excellent host because honestly, other than talking to me on the streams and stuff, he didn't know me.
Not really.
You know what I mean? So
kind of started to click a little bit. And I kind of, I think we'll get along.
So it was like, am I gonna bring this joker to my house? We don't know. So
yeah.
But
that's for sure. I want to also say, we're talking about Laura running the mic and how you hear the questions in Q&A period and whatnot. That leads me to the sound that we had in the building, and we've been doing different things for the convention over the years, and we've done something a little bit different this year. But what we did do is we had Jared Kuzik from All Around Sound, and he and his wife Laura, not the same Laura that runs the mic, different Laura, run the All Around Sound, and they have a sound business that they play sound for any kind of. I had them in my backyard one time for a little gathering I had. It just really made the evening, the weddings, whatever it is that you want for. So if you're in the area looking for sound, I will plug them because I love them and they've done a really great service for us. Jared is so helpful to me when I need something, and so they did a really, really good job with the sound at this convention
and
all that.
Well,
So should we end the session, eh?
Yeah, we should end this session, eh? Until next time.
I think we're gonna pack up and go for some dinner soon.
So yeah.
All right.
That's about all we got to say about that.
It's been a pleasure having you, buddy.
It's been good to be here.
Been a hoot. I haven't actually seen Bob that much because he's been in the trade show and I've been in the convention. So once the convention was over, then we got a little more time to socialize and hang out. So we just wanted to share that with you because we love you guys too. And I know you've been kind of wondering where this guy's got to. Some of you might get a little worried. And I've been entertaining him lately, so that's where it's been. So thanks for tuning in and watching this.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll catch you on another live soon, or just the videos. Keep watching.
So we can end the stream now, eh? You're going way too long, eh?
I'm going way too long, eh? So stop talking, eh? We have to
quit being a hoser and finish the stream, eh?
I don't know if Tim and Hannah on tonight. I would imagine
they are
so.
usually on.
I haven't confirmed that, but check out Tim and Hannah's Gunline Beast tonight, and if we're in doing, in the house and whatnot. Maybe we'll drop
Probably
in.
won't be, but if
We'll
we
we'll
are,
see, because I don't know what we're going to get up to. We may not even, be near a computer or something.
we might move the bees out. It's so warm
We
outside.
might. It's been really warm. It's really warm. We thought we wanted to bring Bob here to experience 40 below, but it's been, well, in your language, it's been high 20s and
Yeah.
cold.
It's like a
Right.
cold night where I'm at.
Yeah, yeah. And I've been literally walking around t-shirt, shorts most
Oh,
of the time.
I'll tell one more story.
All right.
So after yesterday, after the show ended, everybody's standing around in the lobby waiting to go to dinner, and I walk outside, and as I'm going out, Brad said, "Bob, you leaving us?" I said, "I haven't been outside in 2 days. I need to get some air."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's a nice venue that way, because it's a nice hotel and a nice conference center, and you don't have to go anywhere. To go downstairs
Yeah.
to the conference room, and
they'll do everything. I mean, literally
Yeah.
dinner, breakfast. To give you an idea, we took the KFC up to the
executive
lounge, and the lady that was in there made us a tray of spring rolls.
spring rolls. She had barbecue up there. She had pulled pork barbecue up there. I had some of that, some coleslaw, bread. I didn't have to buy KFC either.
We would have had plenty.
It was awesome. That's a good hotel. So that is the Hilton Airport Suites on Wellington, and it's literally, how close that is, the airport. Remember?
I could throw a rock. My wife thought that she had an earthquake, but it was a plane flying over.
I always say it's so close that I could walk there. Like, I could walk there. So it's close,
Put that in perspective.
right? I don't walk very far.
We drove to his backyard.
We drove to the backyard. Well, my backyard is a quarter mile
It
away.
is. It is. It's very long. So,
All right, we're going to shut this down now. So thanks again for watching, and as always, stay safe, take care, and have fun. Bye, everybody.
bye, y'all.